After seeding a meet, and before you actually can run the meet, you'll need to print out some reports. The reports that I like to print out are, go under reports and go to meet program. You always have to select all. Down here is the format. I like to do double columns. It's easier to read than triple columns and single columns. It's just too much paper. So double column format. You can do one event per page if you want to post them out somewhere. One heat per page, that would be a lot. I'm not sure what referee format is or anything else, but or nothing, and it'll just all be on there. Athlete ID, with preceding a meet, you don't need an ID or a comp number actually, so I put none. And then I like date only and all heats. Then include in meet program. I like to include the record, time standards, entry qualifying time, no, not qualifying time, entry time, and events with no entries, yes, so we know what we skip, what's blank, empty lanes, I'll explain why later, and that's it. Okay, and then the 4 names for relays. Then cyclist order, I don't really know what that does. So I will create report. And this is what it looks like. It just will continue. Each event is listed here. The nice thing about this one is that in relays, 1 and 3 for the little guys, swimmer 1 and 3 right here will start at the timer spot. 2 and 4 will start at the other end of the pool for the little guys. So that's kind of a cheat sheet right there. And then, of course, if they swim 2 lanes, like 11, 12, is that when they start? And older, they start all at the same side. And then you can print those. One thing I like doing for my coaches is I will have an age range, and I'll do the 6 and unders, select all, and print that. So then I can print 2 or 3 of those, and so I can give it directly to the coach and the lineup, whoever's helping you with the lineup. And they just have, I'll show you what that looks like, create report. So this is all just 6 and under swimmers and their events. And I did do both teams. So both Reedley and Sanger are listed here. Okay, that's what that looks like. The tricky part here is if you do 8 and under, you'll actually have to select the 8 and under because 6U is also part of 8U. So for the 8Us, you just have to, actually, the easier way to do it is to select all and then unselect the 6U because there are less 6U than 8U. Anyway, always forget that shortcut and then do it the long way. Create that report. Then when you get to the age range of 9 and 10, then select all and you'll just get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, 18. Takes a little bit of time, but you would save paper in the end, having just giving the coaches the papers that they actually need for their age groups. The other thing, let's see, and then of course if you have that blank, that will do all of them. If you want that for your announcer, that they have all the names, that's nice. The other thing I like to do, or the other thing you have to do, is the lane timer sheets. Now this one can be tricky. Of course, you select all. You can do a continuous format where it'll just keep going on pages, fit as many events and heats on a page as possible, or you can hit continuous and click, I just want 4 events with all heats on one page, and then the next 4, and then the next 4. You can do it that way, or if you want to save a little bit more paper, you can do 6, maybe even 8. Could go onto a second page though, depending on how many heats there are. I might try just 4. Other things you can do is 2 events or lanes per page, 1 event per page. This would be like our pinks and blues that we used to fill out for regular before pre-seeding. But that's a lot of paper. You'll want to do, so I want to do continuous, 4 events, all heats, parameters. I want to include the entry time. You can or not, not a big deal. Double space, you want a double space. Using touchpads, we are not. Include athlete ID, you can or cannot, doesn't matter. And then relay names, you want 4, and lanes 1 through 8, because I only have 8 lanes. Then sort by lane and then event. This way it will print out all of lane 1 slips. Those come out, you pull them out, staple them together, and hand it to lane 1. And all lanes, of course. Now this is going to be a large document. It will take a little bit of time, but I will create it. I will not print it because I did not select, or I unselected that direct print in the report preferences because I knew I'd be practicing this and I didn't want to print a bazillion papers. So it takes a bit of time. And if you were still seeding the meet or still making changes and you got the relays all set up, you could just select the relays here, maybe the 100 freestyle and all the free relays if they're ready to go, print those out, hand them out, and then keep working on the other parts. So this is what it'll look like. And event 1, there's nobody in lane 1, but event 2, here is the swimmer, and nobody in event 3 or event 4. It'll click to the next, and of course this is still lane 1, but the next 4 events, and you'll see them start to fill up as you go toward the middle of the pool. They will start to fill up. But of course these were freestyle relays right here. Anyway, we're still in lane 1, and now you can see that we're going further into our meet, and so there are more heats and swimmers. And this is freestyle. So what you want to do if you're a recorder, you want to make sure that this is the student or this is the swimmer who is actually swimming in the lane, whether they're jumping in at the beginning or coming out at the end. Double check that name. Then I prefer to have the scoreboard time printed first. Whatever's up on the scoreboard, print that time. Then timer number 1 time and timer number 2 time. This way you can see that all 3 are close or match. If one is way off and 2 others are close, within 3/10 of a second, the ones that are close you should use, maybe cross out the one that is off. Or if there was no time on the scoreboard, you can write no time here, but write the stopwatch times here. Or the other way around, maybe one timer didn't get reset in enough time, and you just have one recorder or one timer time and the scoreboard time, and then you can click or put no time there. Official time, leave blank. That's how I like to run those while you're a recorder. But please make sure if the kid who climbed out of the pool on lane 1, heat 1, boys 18 under 25 yard freestyle, is not Ryder Munoz, you would cross that name out and then write the name of the child who did swim in that lane. You'd write that name here. And be sure to tell your runner that you have a change. I might even provide post-it notes and little flags, stick a flag on there, so when it gets to the computer desk, they will know that there's something that needs to be checked, changed, or modified. So that's how I like to do that.